Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of the Outdoor Showcase. I'm Mike DelVisco, and we are continuing with our series of shows that highlights all the great vendors that are going to be either at the East Tennessee Fishing Show or the Alabama Fishing Show, our new venture in Gadsden, Alabama, coming up here in March. Can't wait for that. Um, it's another Thursday. It's another show. If you guys want to watch any of the past episodes of the Outdoor Showcase and you don't want to scroll through social media to find them all, really easy. If you've got Amazon or Roku, you can go ahead right there and download either of our channels, depending upon what device you've got. You can watch all the past episodes of the Outdoor Showcase from day one all the way up through present, including this show, which will be on that platform within a few hours, usually after it airs here on social media. But coming right up, Chuck Eatbaugh from Hardcore Fishing Game. Been wanting to talk with this guy for a while. He's got lots of cool stuff. So we're going to jump right in and talk about all the cool stuff he's got. Chuck, how's it going?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Doing fine, doing fine. So you've got, I'm sitting here perusing through your website. You've got a little bit of everything, a lot of really cool stuff.
Yes, sir. We started this idea with on the mindset of doing the UPF 50 fishing shirts, and then the game side of it was giving us into the camo and outdoor side of it. Not lets us be broad on how far we want to go with it, right into like the camping and hiking and all outdoor stuff. And then we've really branched off with a lot of the custom side as well. So our material with our UPF 50 fishing shirts, it really keeps you cool and like, to the touch, the shirts are cold, and it's kind of a special material that we use. And with that said, we've really been able to branch out and started doing custom shirts for a lot of companies. There's a lot of outdoor, jobs out there, landscaping and roofers and detail businesses and construction, and nobody's really covered from the sun like they should be. So not only do we do it from the fishing side and build shirts for charter captains with their boats when people go to the Keys and they take a nice fishing trip and they want to get a souvenir shirt, we actually build the shirts for a lot of charter captains that people are buying that shirt from that boat and their family experience they had with their fishing trip, and it's made out of our material. So we did that, and then we branched out. We're it's not on our site. We don't advertise our custom side yet because we're very busy with it by word of mouth and just getting branched out on its own, which is, right. Marketing seems to be what you have to do a lot of. And fortunately for our custom side, we haven't really done that. Our apparel, people see it and ask where they get it, and then we just get more phone calls. So then with that coming along, it turned into everybody likes hats. So we figured, hats, you're out and about. If you're fishing, the hats are always, you're out there and they're getting wet, or they get, the salt water, and the hats don't last forever. So everybody's cycling through hats.
Right.
And we felt like the embroidery side is one way to do hats, but we felt like the patch hat side is a lot more, it's newer, seems to be more hip. You can do a lot more things with it, and it's not real big and bulky. So we started doing our own patch hats, and then we started branching out to companies as well. So we're getting pretty fancy with that side of it, and we're hoping to showcase a lot of that at the East Tennessee show.
Yeah.
And carried it into the Alabama show. And I'm hoping we're going to have it set up to where people will be able to come and choose one of our real nice patches and then choose a blank hat there, and we're going to put it together for them right there.
Oh, that's cool.
So kind of old school, but new school technology.
Yeah. So I've been around long enough to know in the fishing industry, and I've competed for more than 4 decades now. So I know, when we had, when there was nothing, that existed that was an embroidered hat or a screen printed hat. It was just, it was a patch on a hat.
Yep.
And then we had our vest. Tournament shirts didn't exist back then either. So we had a vest, usually a denim vest full of patches, and you would wear your collared shirt to go fish in, and long sleeve collared shirt. And then when you get to the stage, you put your vest on over the shirt so it looked like you had a tournament shirt on. That's how we did it back 40 years ago.
That and then you guys still had blue jeans on then too, right?
Still had blue, yeah, still had my blue.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
remember seeing videos of Bill Dance and Hank Parker then way back
yeah,
in the day.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
we used to race and hang out with Hank Parker Jr. and Billy Parker a lot. So we always, thought that was pretty cool with their dad. And so, we tuned in and watched that when we could. But yeah,
Yeah.
the technology has changed, materials changed, nowadays with all this, UPF blocking all the UVA and B rays and, the types of material we can do. And then we can add, breathable mesh. And, we have one shirt that we call a Grand Slam, and it's got a combination of everything you need. So, it's a long sleeve. It's got breathable mesh underneath the sleeves that are blended right in. And it's got the sides of the shirt is mesh. The front has a little pocket. It has a breathable neck gaiter that you just, when you want it, it's in the shirt, you just pull it up over. And then it
Oh,
has
that's cool.
that has drawstrings. Well, one thing about hoods that we always didn't like is it seemed like the hoods are so small that they don't cover you if you're wearing a hat. So we built our hoods on our shirts to where they'll cover the whole bill of the hat. And then so here's the shirt I was talking about. So it's got the neck gaiter in it when you want it. And what we did was we didn't like the stitching with neck gaiters. So that right there is all put in by, it's done by a mold. So it's not even stitched in there. And then you got your hood and you got your drawstrings. And I've tested this thing at 40 miles an hour out in the Gulf of Mexico over my hat and pull the drawstrings down. And at 40 miles an hour, the hood doesn't come off and the hat doesn't blow off. So, it's fully UPF 50. So that's what's nice about it. And, they're real lightweight. The other thing we do is, a lot of people hear about sublimation and they think, you get a shirt and you go in and sublimate the logos into the shirt. We actually design or use customers' logos, or help them design logos. And then what we do is we choose the fabric, we choose the grams per square meter of the fabric weight. And then we have the factory takes all of it, our specs and our own size charts, and all of the artwork is printed into the rolls of the fabric. And then it's plotted out in every piece of the shirt, whether it's the sleeve, the front, the back, the hood. It's all on the flat part of the fabric. And then they take and they cut it all out. So it's cut and sewn. So everything we do is fully custom, even our own brand. We don't buy, we do it with t-shirts, right? Because you buy t-shirt blanks and, we try to get the tri-blends where they're lightweight and cooler. But our specialty with the shirts, everything is designed and then it's cut and sewn, even for our brand and our customers.
That's really cool. And the one thing that I just thought about here when you were talking about the hoods and trying to wear a hat and, running down the lake in a boat at 60 miles an hour, and I got my hat on and I've got my hood up so my hat doesn't go blown off my head. And it seems that every time I try to do that, what it does, it compresses the bill down around my eyes so I can't see anything.
Yep.
So but if I let loose on it, then my hat flies off. So that's a good.
I didn't have that. I saved that shirt I was down in the Keys and we went on a deep sea trip on a couple weeks ago on a Thursday. And the day before we did up in the Everglades in a flats boat, and I couldn't wear the shirt both days. Right. So I had to choose. So I wore it the second day and I did exactly what you said. I turned around the wrong time and poof, there went the hat. So I had to come back home with a nice shiny bald head.
Yeah. So lots of cool ingenuity in your prize. I can't wait. I'm gonna go shopping when I'm there at the East Tennessee Fishing Show. It rarely do I get a chance to go walk around a lot, but I'm gonna make some time and come over there and do some. I'll be about ready to go back to the Keys or go to Florida and somewhere and take my wife Brandy to go fish because we've both been running crazy the last bunch of months. So we may need to go clothes shopping while we're there.
I like it. Well, come see us. We specialize we also have currently 2 color choices in our 6-inch deck boots as well. So we do deck boots.
We have right at them right now.
Yeah. They're probably one of our top 3 or 4 items that we sell right now. I don't know if it's for what rhyme or reason, but they seem to be, pretty hot on the press. They're offered at a very affordable price compared to what else is out on the market. They are all handmade and, to our specs, and we choose the colors of every bit of it. So we do 100% of the design stuff, and then tell them, like I said, the fabric of everything we make. And then what else we got? Yeah. So our shorts are very, very lightweight. They're polyester nylon. The nylon makes them about as tough as nails. I've had them for a little over 2 years, and unless I'm outside doing something I shouldn't be doing, painting, which I shouldn't be painting, right, and getting paint marks on them. But as far as the durability of them, I haven't ripped a pair of mine in since we got them in 2 years. They're almost too good, right? Because I mean, you want a good product out there, but if you have a product bulletproof like that, sometimes they're not going to come back and get to buy another pair from.
Right.
So, and the other side is it's getting into the cold weather. And last year at the show, everybody told us it's a fishing show, so don't bring your camo line because it's a fishing show.
It's the South.
Well, that was a mistake because one, cold, okay, and two, everybody that fishes still hunts. Most everybody, okay. So this year at the show, we branched out. Last year we had a 10 by 20 booth, and kind of snuck out in the aisle a little bit here and there until Shelia said, "You need a bigger booth, don't you?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I said, "And we'll have one next year." So we currently have a 10 by 40 this year, so we'll be able to spread out quite a bit. If I can talk Sheila and talk my wife and let me get another 10 by 10 added to it, we're going to do that as well. So we got a lot of products to bring. We're going to bring all of our camo this year. And so this was one of the hottest items we had there last year at the show. So this is a Sherpa line jacket. I call it the plus 20 degree jacket. So you put it on, you're going to be 20 degrees warmer real fast. Everybody that comes by and looked at that jacket, we sold a lot of them and had to ship them when we got home last year because we just put one on display. But it's almost like, the feel of the Sherpa, like almost like a Ugg boot.
Right.
It kind of feels like that. It's not noisy. It's got a pocket up at your chest. It's got snap pockets down below. It's got side pockets for your hands. It's also got a hood on it.
That's sick.
Drawstrings. So we have that, and then we have like the matching camo bibs, and our camo is all Prime 1 camo. It's the which one is that? MP. So that's the MP, which is multi-purpose by Prime 1, and they're actually all that design work's done out of Tennessee.
Yeah, Lance is a really good guy.
Yes. Yep. So we're excited.
Lance and Stacy.
Yes, and we take we talk to Stacy an awful lot, and they've been really, really good for us and helpful, and we take a lot of their camo patterns that are more vibrant and stuff, and we actually put them into a lot of our fishing shirts.
Yeah.
So that turns out pretty well. We trying to see a couple of them, and this company here we did shirts for last year. They're Hiawassee Marine Bait and Tackle. They're from up there in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
So we built a bunch of custom shirts for them, and that's a Prime 1 pattern on the sleeves. And then we did one with the El Bandito Tequila Company. We did one with the brand new Prime 1 pattern, and we did that for a fishing tournament in the Keys. Something else that's unique that we do is we go out and find, I did NASCAR for 21 years. So we go out, and the guys at the racetrack, they're out in the sun all the time, just like the guys fishing. Right. So we decided nobody's doing a UPF 50 fishing shirt material for these guys out there at the racetrack with all their sponsors. So we went in and we put all, like I said, it's fully dye sublimated. We put a nice little interior pocket. We put the quarter zip on it. So we put some side mesh, and then we put all their sponsors, into the shirts. And with it, it keeps these guys cooler out in the sun, and the stuff's real lightweight. So we do a lot of that for the race teams, which helps a lot for them. Plus it helps us with branching out our business. Something that's brand new for us that we're really hitting heavy is we're getting in, like I mentioned, the patches. Okay. So we may get some people to come by and want to see some of our patches. We may or may not have have a special state flag for the Tennessee show and for the Alabama show, just in time, maybe tied in with a little bit of a bass, a little largemouth on it or something. So
that would be cool.
A few of our hats there. We're trying to work things out. I think hopefully it works out, but we're trying to do something special for the show, for both shows, for Shelia, as far as their hats and shirts with the promotions that they do.
Right.
We're real excited to try to help her out with that and offer some of our products and our material and that, which is going to be passed down to all the consumers that show up to them shows, and especially the ones, I think one day she does that deal, the first 200 that come in get something free.
Yep.
So I think we're going to be kind of part of that a little bit. I think our newest announcement that we haven't really announced it yet, because we're still working on design stuff and figure out which direction we'll go. But we actually just signed a license agreement with Mossy Oak. So that'll be another feature that we can add to the package and program. And, we're starting to develop our own hats. We've always relied on Richardson or Yupong, or Pacific hats. And there's been a shortage of all that, right? Everybody hears about the shortage of all this stuff. So what we don't like to do is have our products in other people's, in their hands of us being able to produce or not. So we've been working hard for about the last 9 months on our own hats, and, with designs that we didn't like and we did like, and the right fit, because everybody knows when you're a hat person, you either like it or don't.
Yep, absolutely.
So we're kicking in high gear, and we'll be able to showcase and offer our hats. We'll have blank hats and hats with our patches on them at this show. So everybody will get a good look at, our own product, and it'll have our own hardcore fishing game headwear in it. Will you grab me one of them right here first? So obviously the most popular is a heather gray and white. So this is actually our first version of our hats. So nice little fit. And then, we're going to branch into the unstructured hats, and then we're working on our own hats. It'll be a messy bun hat for the women, because Lord knows all these shows are geared towards most of the men, and the women around there don't, there's not as much for them if they're not there for the fishing stuff. So we try to bring a few things for them, and then we'll have the messy bun hats, and the women go crazy over those. So we're trying to build our own messy bun hat in time for this show, so we can have something for the ladies to choose from.
Cool. Awesome. And people want to find you here, real easy. Website, hardcorefishinggame.com, social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff too.
Yes, sir. We have all that. We don't do a whole lot on the Twitter. One, we just can't keep up with everything. So as we're producing everything, but it's pretty easy to do the Facebook and Instagram, because they kind of, they correlate together, and it just works out better.
Awesome. So people can check you out online, social media, and coming up here in January at the East Tennessee Fishing Show, and also the Alabama Fishing Show and Expo in Gadsden, Alabama. It's going to be 2 great venues to see you. I can't wait to come and visit with you guys and see all your stuff in person and do a little shopping. I may need to control Brandy and try to keep her out of the booth a little bit. She'll be walking out there with arms full of stuff.
Maybe we need to bring some of them shopping cart baskets.
Yes, absolutely. Anything else before we go to commercial break?
No, I don't have anything else. I don't think so. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And there you go. Go get the phone. Go some orders before we go.
I'm sure they're telling me about my car insurance or my car warranty or something.
Exactly. Yeah. There he goes, Chucky Paw from Hardcore Fishing Game. I'm Mike DelVisco. Going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Outdoor Showcase.
Catch the best in outdoor products every month on the Outdoor Showcase. Hosts Sheila Bunch and Mike DelVisco bring you new, unique, and awesome products for the outdoors, featuring guests and segments. Whether you fish, boat, camp, or just love the outdoors, there's always something for everyone. We are live the last Thursday of every month, available on Fire TV and Roku. For more info or to have your products showcased, visit theoutdoorshowcase.com. We'll see you in the great outdoors.
Hey, it's Mike DelVisco back with you here, Outdoor Showcase, and we are almost halfway through another show here. We got I've had a chance to talk with this guy in previous interviews and see him at shows, and he's got some really, really cool stuff. Next generation soft plastics, and always nice to talk with Scott from NIKKO, Next Generation Soft Plastics. And I can't wait to see what you got coming up here. I want to refresher some of the stuff we talked about last time with your cool baits, and you showed me a little preview of a new bait. You got a bigger version of some stuff. So, yeah. Scott, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Awesome. How's things in the next generation soft plastics world?
Oh well, it's steadily moving forward. The world's in chaos, and we just try to be a little island of stability, and steadily moving forward and trying to just concentrate on making good product and keeping people happy.
Yeah. So the last time we talked is probably about a year ago. I was really intrigued by the baits that you have. They're a little bit unconventional as far as the bass fishing soft plastics market, which is really cool. I think it kind of adds another element of different baits that we can fish. And I'd like you to show us just some of the stuff that you've got.
Well, I think a lot of the viewers of this show will probably be familiar with our Hellgrammite. We'll just start with number one here, and that's our Hellgrammite. It's a 3-inch, it's super stretchy, very durable. That's our number one selling bait. It's really kind of a magical bait. Easy to fish. You can fish it top water, Texas rig, Ned rig. There's almost no wrong way to fish it. Fish find it. Tennessee's our number one state for Hellgrammites. Last year at the show, we sold a ton of Hellgrammites, and we've had a lot of happy customers. And what's different from last year and this year is that we've released the different colors. We've released a series of new limited edition colors. I'll have a couple new colors at the show, and a few of our limited editions are just a little bit, not much stock is left, and come to the show and you can get the last of it, because not every color is in production all the time. So it'd be a good opportunity to pick up on some stock that is kind of rare at this point. So the Hellgrammite's absolutely awesome bait. I would there's no salt water in Tennessee, but fresh water, salt water, whether you're fishing lakes, largemouth, smallmouth, it doesn't matter. The fish will hit that Hellgrammite.
And it's not just for bass too, because catfish will eat a Hellgrammite too, especially up in some of our rivers. I've seen that happen quite a bit.
I've caught a lot of catfish on Hellgrammites. A lot of our customers have too. The Hellgrammite, well, this is true. Really, it's consistent with a lot of NIKKO products. Is NIKKO baits, the baits that we make on average will catch a wider variety of fish than other baits. And I think that's because of we've really dialed in the natural appeal to it. And I think it's just the fish just find our baits more attractive on average than the typical bait that's being used today.
Mm-hmm. And they are scented.
Yes, everything. Yeah, a quick refresher is we use a very, very special kind of plastic. We're the only company in the world that uses this variation of this plastic. It's in that family of super plastics that are, super stretchy, durable, floating, non-toxic. But that's a very complicated plastic. There's a lot of variations, and every time you make a change, it affects some other aspect of the plastic. And so, it's kind of like a baseball bat. You got a round bat hitting a round ball. It's hard to find that sweet spot and hit it just right. If you change the direction, just a little bit in one way, it really greatly affects the trajectory of what's happening. And that's the way these super plastics are. And NIKKO is currently the only company in the world that has mastered the sweet spot, so to speak, of these plastics, where you can get all the properties that you want. If you've handled NIKKO baits, some people say, oh, they're like Elastec, or they're like some other, the Chinese or Indonesian manufacturers of similar type of products. But when you handle them, they're different. They perform differently. They're made differently. NIKKO manufactures these plastics for some of the world's most famous companies. I can't really say them. I can probably tell you in person, but not on a show. But if you think of name the top 5 companies in the world, and we'd be in there. NIKKO's very quietly making baits for them. So that's how the baits are completely non-toxic. They're swallow safe for wildlife. You could burn them. You could eat these baits. They won't cause any harm to anything at any time. It's all part of being the next generation here. High performance, low environmental footprint, high value. These baits are super durable. Customers save a lot of money. And in the early days, like you say, a bass worm like this, I think in some of our studies in earlier years, I think it was every dollar you would spend on a NIKKO is equivalent to spending $20 or more on another popular bait. And so the savings can really, really add up if you use our products. It's hard to promise how many catches you're going to get because fishing is so variable. But I personally have gone about 300 fish on a single hellgrammite before I lost it. And that hellgrammite could have gone probably to 500 or more. I do tell customers that if you take care of the baits and you're not casting in the trees or getting snagged or broken off, then, one pack of hellgrammites could normally get you about 1,000 fish. So you save a ton of money. It's more time fishing, less time rigging, less time driving to the store, less time retying, less time. It's more time fishing, more time enjoying life.
And a fun bait to fish.
That's right. I know when I'm fishing, I'm kind of, I hate retying, I hate re-rigging. And it's because it's taken away. I just love being out there fishing.
Yes.
And I'm not in a hurry, but I love every minute of it. And, the only time I want to switch baits is if I'm trying to figure the fish out. So I hate losing them.
So how many different styles of bass lure do you make right now?
Well, maybe it might be easier to try this. Let me see if I can put this camera down. These are,
there we go.
These are kind of just representative of our main bass stuff. So we have the hellgrammite here, right here. We have a little 2.9-inch tadpole. These are really, really awesome. Most people drop shot them. You put them on little jig heads, even little small jig trailers. They work great. As you can imagine, the tail action is just phenomenal. We make these are actually, originally designed for saltwater, little octopus baits, but they're kind of like a tube with different proportions. We make these in various sizes. These are also very effective. Here's a bait that I really, really love is a leech. It's a 3.8-inch. It's a little, we adjusted the plastic on this. It's a little softer than the hellgrammites. Little different action. It's just a fantastic bait. If you buy the hellgrammites, I would recommend you buy the leech too, because you can fish them the same way. And, if you miss a fish, go back with a leech. They're really complementary. Leeches are something, these have been one of our, nothing beats the hellgrammite, but the leech. Yeah. The leech has really come on, and it's been a very successful bait for us.
That'd be a great drop shot bait too.
Well, originally we designed it as drop shot bait, and as we were designing it, I wanted more versatility. So I designed it with a profile that's very suitable and appropriate for Ned rigs, jig heads. You've got enough meat on it for trailers. I did quite a bit of study on leeches, and I tried to work out proportions of a moving leech. And there's a lot of math went into this, and it's very effective. And Fish seem to love it. It's really a bait that I love fishing. Right here we have it's called a Winnow. It's a 3.75 inch rib swim bait. But if you notice, let me try to get this close to the camera. If you the ribs are zigzagged, and so what this does, these zigzag ribs provide a different frequencies as they go through the water. They're very thin, they flex as well. So it provides a broad spectrum of frequencies. You know, if you look at other swim baits, they're all monotone. They're all the same frequency. If the fish are on that frequency, great. If you just want the fish to know it's there, well, they're going to know it's there, whether it has ribs or not. But these ribs will hit a variety of frequencies, and you're more likely to get hits, more likely to get the fish interested. It also, you're going to hit frequencies that are more natural, because we don't always know which ones they are. And these ribs will actually flex in the water as well while it's going. So this is a really extremely innovative bait. It's I honestly think that it's innovation in rib swim baits will probably be coming from this. The amount of innovation in there is there's a whole lot going on in there. It's also designed to be a slow retrieve bait, swim baits. In the world of fishing swim baits, there's been a trend towards fishing them a little bit earlier and a little bit later in the season. And that means colder water most of the time. And fish a little sluggish. So this bait has amazing action, very, very slow. You can fish this a variety of ways. And it's super durable as well. So, a lot of people with the swim baits is the tail gets torn off. And this bait, and some of our customers are at 150 catches on a single one. I know there's one up in the Wisconsin area that's been like over 100 and probably been through about 30 pike and still going. Saves you. I mean, they're pricey. Your upfront cost, NIKKO's a little bit pricier than other plastics at the upfront cost, but you save a ton of money. You'll catch a lot more fish. So this rib swim bait, this Winnow, really nice bait. If you fish this style of bait, you should definitely check it out. Give it a try.
That's a cool. I like the way that the ribs go. Not the same, as you said, monotone way that,
right.
every other rib swim bait is.
Yeah.
That's a cool aspect, something that I would have never thought of.
Well, I don't know. Every time you have a good idea in life, you realize that someone else already had that idea. That's kind of the way human nature is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure somebody else had the idea. But for us, it was an original idea when we thought of it. But it was very difficult to implement, because when you actually get into how molds are made, you cannot do a zigzag in a full circumference of the bait. And if you look at other companies that have made some attempt at altering the ribs, you can see that they were restricted by the mold making technology. And so NIKKO actually spent almost a year trying to figure out how to get a mold made. And that NIKKO actually had to visit a variety of high-tech industries in Japan and consult with them. And I think they even ended up borrowing equipment or had somebody, from a completely different industry, high-tech manufacturing, to get this mold made. So it was a very difficult process. It was well worth it, in terms of fish catching, it was worth it.
Right.
And over here we have these little, we call them super Neds, some 2.8 Neds. It's a little, in the broad sense of thing, it's just a simple stick bait, but it does have 3 distinct sections to it. It has different rib structures for different vibration, different frequencies. It has at the end here, it has it's kind of hard to see, but it has a concave hole here. So it's going to snug up on your jig head a lot more cleanly. And, again, it's made out of the same material, super strong, floats, stands up. And the other thing about these is that, the market's got a ton of little Ned stick baits. But what it doesn't have is a profile want a profile like this and one that is thick like this. So these are actually made at the same caliber as or the 45 caliber um, bullet. That's how thick these are. So, fish. It's fishing. Sometimes a thinner profile works better. Sometimes a thicker profile. The market is full of thin profile baits. We have a thick one. So, it's something different and again, very effective. And we have here our craws. Our craws have really taken off this year. In fact, at this moment in time, if I placed an order with NIKKO, they would make me wait. So craws have really taken off. The craws again are really kind of unique. They have a very wide natural stance, so the claws are spread out naturally like a defensive craw. A lot of you can see it right here. That's probably about natural where that is, that yellow one, the chartreuse. So the claws are spread out, very defensive. The antennae are at natural angles, natural lengths. So we didn't take any. If you look at other crawl baits on the market, they're referred to as defensive craws, but they're really a fleeing swimming craw. And there's a lot of shortcuts taken to reduce the cost, like the antenna. Like just extending the antenna has a cost to it, and a lot of companies don't do that. We do. The other thing is there's amazing detail all throughout the bait. It's kind of hard to see against my thing, but we have the little tiny pinchers. We have a lot of detail. The tail is tucked in there. It's really right on the verge of swimming away in fear. It's got a unique angle. If you can see that body angle there, that's quite different. Again, it's a posture that is actually, this accurately represents a posture in nature at that moment when just before a crawl is ready to take off. So this crawl, we believe in our human minds, is projecting the feeling of complete vulnerability by that crawl. So we're hoping that is part of the fish catching process.
Right.
And the other thing is, again, because it's made out of NIKKO's material, these craws, as you can see, you're not gonna lose your claws.
And as well as I do, how many times you've fished a craw on a ball head jig or however, and you get bit, you set the hook, you don't catch the fish, you wind up and one claw's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you can still go back and catch the fish.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, somehow it's a little more fun to have your bait intact when you're fishing. So, these claws will stay on the crawl much longer than anything else on the market. So again, your bait remains intact. It remains fishable, and you feel better about fishing it, because I think a lot of people, once the baits get torn up, they usually throw them away. So these craws will have really become quite popular, and I've been told that they've put quite a bit of money in people's bank accounts over this past season. So that's good to know.
Excellent. And if people want to find out a little bit more leading up to the East Tennessee Fishing Show coming here in January, which you're going to be at, NIKKO/fishing.com, social media and Instagram as well too.
Well, yeah. So Instagram is NIKKO _baits, and Facebook is NIKKO Fishing Baits. I'm not sure why we didn't do that the same name, but that's the way it turned out.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can contact me through those sites if you have any questions or anything for the show. Again, we've got some new colors, or some colors that are kind of rare, and some of our baits, mainly hellgrammites, leeches, and craws. And we will have some brand new colors coming. And we also will have a brand new bait that will be available in limited numbers. limited colors, limited numbers. We're really scrambling to get this into production and delivered prior to the show, but it looks like we're only going to have part of it ready. But I'll have some there, and I will make sure that even if I don't have it there, I will make sure that we can take care of you and you will get it as soon as it arrives. And it's a bait that is extremely effective, and the people that we've worked with have tested it are absolutely, I've never seen so much enthusiasm about a brand new bait. So
awesome.
And yeah, so that we'll have that there. So and I'll be there, and we'll try to have a YouTuber there, a couple of YouTubers, but that's at this point in time we're that hasn't been nailed down yet.
Awesome, Scott. Can't wait to see you in January and see what this new stuff is, and get ready to go stock up on some of the old stuff too. I know you're going to have a great show. Always great seeing you. We are up against a commercial break, Cam. When we come back, got kind of a special segment coming up for you guys. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'll intro it before it plays, but Scott, we'll let you get back to your phone calls. Sounds like things are getting busy there.
Oh,
and we will see you in Virginia.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. There he goes. Scott from NIKKO Baits, Next Generation Soft Plastics. We will be right back with more Outdoor Showcase and something you're not going to want to miss.
Catch the best in outdoor products every month on the Outdoor Showcase. Hosts Shelia Bunch and Mike DelVisco bring you new, unique, and awesome products for the outdoors, featuring guests and segments. Whether you fish, boat, camp, or just love the outdoors, there's always something for everyone. We are live the last Thursday of every month, available on Fire TV and Roku. For more info or to have your products showcased, visit theoutdoorshowcase.com. We'll see you in the great outdoors.
Hey, it's Mike DelVisco back with you. And something that's a little unusual for the Outdoor Showcase is we rarely have a guest that's actually out in the water. Most of our guests are, studio based or showing off their products. I'm talking, they're talking. And aside from filming some fishing segments like we've done in the past, we've never really had a guest that's been out there in the water fishing until now. I was trying to get a hold of our friends over there at Toughest Friggin Rods, Justin, and I was trying to set up a time where we could get him on the show. And he says, "Man, I'm out in the water fishing." I said, "Well, the kind of light bulb went off. Let's try to do a segment out in the water." So we had to re-record this one earlier in the day, and he was out catfishing. And that's what he does. He's a cat fisherman. He's got some really tough rods, and this is exactly what happened. Hey, we got a really special treat. I guess we'll figure out where they're fishing here in just a couple minutes, but I got Justin and Steve from the Toughest Friggin Rods. I talked to them. We've been trying to set up a time we could actually record a segment. And they happen to be out on the water today. So I said, man, that would be so cool if we could do an on the water thing. It's so rare that we get to do this. And they're actually fishing a tournament. They said, "Man, I'm fishing a tournament today, but that's okay. We can go record." And they're catching crazy catfish right now. Justin, what's going on, man?
What'd you say?
And what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. We're sitting out here. It's a really windy day. We're trying to put in the work. I build the toughest freaking rod. A lot of guys know me on TikTok, OGTF rods. I build everything from catfish rods to bass rods. I specialize in building the absolute toughest rod to put in your hands to keep you fishing.
Cool.
So we're out here today. We're doing a little bit of dragging. We've got some boards out. We got a couple nice fish in the live well. When you're ready, I might pull one out and show you guys. But yeah, we're just out here. We're doing a little bit of dragging. We're excited for the Tennessee show. We're going to bring a lot of rods with us. So we hope that a lot of people are ready for some some bling because they all glow. They're all bright, and they're all tough.
Awesome. Where are you fishing today?
We are on Wheeler Lake in Alabama.
Decatur, Alabama, one of my favorite places to go bass fishing.
Yeah, there is some awesome smallies here. Like I said, I don't have any of the bass rods, but we carry a lot of different styles of rods. You know, we got bumping rods. This is a Let's Go Brandon. Says TFR, Let's Go Brandon. It's got red, white, and blue wraps. We specialize in high-end carbon blanks. So all these that you're seeing right here, these are pure carbon. They're very light and they're very, very powerful.
Nice. And you're fishing, you've got a 2-day tournament going on right now. And for just a little, so I'm not familiar with catfish tournaments. I bass fish tournaments for a living. So what's the format?
Pretty much it's 3 fish, 2 overs, 1 under. So right now we have 2 overs. We got the last little hour here. We figured we'd take time to do this, and then we got to go catch a small fish. So I'll kind of show you guys what we're working with here. I'll pull one out.
Yeah, I want to see it over.
We'll try to pull. I'll pull one out for you here.
Not a monster, but good fish for a tournament.
There's nothing wrong with that right there.
Oh no, he's a good one. He's not bad.
We got 2 in here that size. So we're working on either a bigger fish or at least one more small fish. It is total weight, so that's a pretty good bag for day 1. So hopefully we can pull off a day 2 with an even bigger hitter. But we've had a lot of wind, and we got a lot more wind coming tomorrow. We got a lot of severe kind of weather, rain, and like I said, the wind. So we're going to do our best to see what we can do and maybe pull this one off.
Yeah, cool. And I'm not going to keep you too long because I know you got to get back out there and go fish. But so you've got not only catfish rods, but bass fishing rods, pretty much everything you want to fish for, you've got a rod for, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you'll have all those at the East Tennessee show.
Yep, we will be bringing a bunch of rods. If anybody's interested in checking us out, you can look me up, TikTok, og.tfrods, or you can go to tfrods.com. A lot of my videos are on TikTok, so if you want to watch some brutal beatdown tests on some rods, running over them, pulling Tahoes, beating trees, you name it, we've done it. It's all on there. We got some awesome content. So be sure, definitely check us out, check the website out. And we offer the best rod for the best price. So definitely.
Excellent. I'm going to let you get back to fishing. I know you got to go catch that under. We'll hope what I might do, I might follow up with you afterwards and see if you did catch that under today, and then see how you did in the final tournament. We'll just blast that on another episode. But good luck to you here the rest of today and tomorrow, and look forward to seeing you guys in Tennessee.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. Thank you, and you guys have a great day.
Thanks. All right, Justin and Steve, the toughest friggin' rods, taking time out of their schedule for during a tournament to come talk to us here in the Outdoor Showcase. Can't wait to see them coming up here in the East Tennessee Fishing Show, and see if they can't go pull out the win here on Wheeler Lake, which is an awesome place to go fish. You guys want to watch any past episode of the Outdoor Showcase, including this one, which will be up on our Amazon and Roku channels pretty much right after it airs on social media. If you've got an Amazon or Roku device, simply go on, download the Outdoor Showcase app to that device. You can watch it on your cell phone, you can watch it on your iPad, you can watch it on your computer, you can watch it on your TV, any place you want. Where you can get into your accounts, you can watch the Outdoor Showcase 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every single episode is up on our channels right now, and you can watch them all, including all the recent episodes that get put right up on there right after they air. So that is the end of another edition here of the Outdoor Showcase. We will be back again next Thursday and see what happens. Not sure who our guests will be yet, but check out our social media page, the Outdoor Showcase on Facebook. Usually announce that 3 or 4 days ahead of the show who our guests will be. Tune in, and we will see you there next week. I'm Mike DelVisco.